Generation Z includes those born roughly between 1997 and 2012. They are the first true digital natives. They never knew a world without the internet. Their childhoods were shaped by smartphones, social media. This constant connectivity has influenced everything. It affects how they communicate, learn, see the world. As this generation enters adulthood, a major conversation has started. People are talking about their financial struggles. Many reports show they are facing economic challenges. These challenges are often greater than what their parents or grandparents faced at the same age. It's a topic that deserves a closer, more detailed look. We often hear about these financial difficulties, but what does it really mean? It means that for many young adults today, traditional milestones are delayed. Buying a home, starting a family, feeling financially secure seems out of reach. They are entering a workforce that looks very different from the past. The economic landscape has shifted dramatically. This isn't about blaming a generation for their spending habits. It is about understanding the systemic issues they face. This will help us see the full picture of their financial reality. One of the biggest financial hurdles for Gen Z is student loan debt. More young people are going to college than ever before. It's seen as the primary path to a good career. But the cost of higher education has skyrocketed. Over the past few decades, tuition has risen much faster than inflation. Many students have no choice but to take out large loans. They're starting adult lives already facing a significant financial deficit. This debt affects their choices for years. The numbers are startling. The average student loan debt for a recent graduate is now over $30,000, a historic high. For previous generations like the baby boomers, a summer job could pay for a year of college. Now, a summer job might only cover textbooks. That leaves young people stuck. They're told a college degree is essential for success, but the cost puts them at an immediate disadvantage after graduation. This debt burden ripples through the economy. Monthly loan payments mean less disposable income, less spending on goods and services, reduced overall demand, harder to save for retirement, harder to save for emergencies. Beyond education costs, the basic cost of living has become a major challenge for Gen Z. Housing in particular has become incredibly expensive. In many cities across the country, rental prices have soared. The cost of buying a home has also increased dramatically. Home prices have risen much faster than wages. This makes it very difficult for a young person to save up for a down payment. The dream of home ownership, once a key part of the American dream, feels increasingly unattainable for this generation. They are often stuck renting for much longer than their parents did. This rise in housing costs is not just happening in major metropolitan areas. Even in smaller towns and suburbs, prices are climbing. This puts Gen Z in a tough spot. They may need to live in more expensive urban areas for job opportunities, but the cost of rent can consume a huge portion of their income. Financial experts recommend spending no more than 30% of your income on housing. For many young renters, that number is closer to 50% or even higher. This leaves very little money for other necessities like food, transportation, healthcare. Inflation has also played a significant role in Gen Z's financial struggles. The cost of everyday goods and services has been rising. This includes essentials like groceries, gas, utilities. Another critical piece of the puzzle is the issue of wages. For decades, wages for the average worker have not kept up with productivity with the cost of living. While corporate profits have grown, that wealth has not been broadly shared with employees. Gen Z is entering a labor market where this trend has become the norm. They may have a college degree and valuable skills, but the starting salaries for many entry-level jobs are surprisingly low, especially once you factor in the high cost of living in the cities where these jobs are located. The nature of work has changed. Long-term, stable careers at one company are largely over. Many companies now rely on contract workers, freelancers, and part-time employees. These roles often lack the same benefits as full-time jobs. They may lack health insurance, paid time off, or retirement plans like a 401k. Young workers must cover these costs themselves. That adds another layer of financial instability. They're patching together income from various sources without the safety net earlier generations had. Technology is, right at the very center of Gen Z's world, and it has a pretty complex relationship with their finances. On one hand, technology has created all kinds of new opportunities. The rise of the gig economy, powered by apps for things like ride-sharing, food delivery, offers flexible ways to earn money. Many young people use these platforms to supplement their income. They can work a few extra hours on their own schedule, which is honestly pretty appealing. This can be a lifeline for someone trying to pay their bills or save up for a specific goal. It provides a level of autonomy that traditional jobs often do not. However, this flexibility does come at a cost. Gig work is often precarious. Workers are classified as independent contractors, not employees. This means they do not have access to basic protections and benefits. They do not get a minimum wage. They do not get overtime pay. They do not get workers' compensation. They are responsible for their own expenses like gas car maintenance, which can really add up. The income can be unpredictable, fluctuating from week to week. Social media also plays a major role in Gen Z's financial lives. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok can create a culture of comparison. Young people are constantly exposed to the curated, idealized lifestyles of others. Faced with these economic realities, Gen Z is developing different attitudes toward money and spending compared to older generations. They tend to be more pragmatic and cautious. Having grown up in the shadow of the 2008 financial crisis, many saw their parents struggle financially. This has made them more risk-averse in some ways. They are often very focused on saving money and building an emergency fund. They understand the importance of having a financial cushion. This is a direct response to the economic instability they have witnessed throughout their lives. They value security. Their spending priorities also reflect their values. Many in Gen Z are more interested in spending money on experiences rather than material possessions. They might prioritize saving for a trip over buying a luxury car. Large assets like cars and homes feel out of reach. But it's also philosophical. They often value personal growth, travel, creating memories. They are also more likely to support brands that align with their social and environmental values. They'll spend more on a product if the company is ethical and sustainable. This is value-based spending. This generation is rewriting the rules of investing. They invest in cryptocurrencies. They buy meme stocks. Despite the significant financial obstacles they face, Gen Z is not defined by helplessness. They are resourceful and proactive. One of the most prominent trends is the rise of the side hustle. Many young people are not content with just one income. They are using skills and free time to earn extra money. Freelance writing, graphic design, selling handmade goods on Etsy, driving for a ride-sharing service. Side hustles are a core part of their financial strategy. This entrepreneurial spirit defines the generation. They are not waiting for the perfect job. They are creating their own opportunities. The internet makes starting a small business cheap and easy. They can market products and services on social media. They can reach a global audience from home. Monetizing hobbies gives them a sense of agency. It gives them control over their financial destiny, even when their primary job may be unstable. Gen Z is deeply committed to financial literacy. They actively seek out information on how to manage money, watching YouTube videos about investing, listening to podcasts about budgeting, following financial experts on TikTok, following financial experts on Instagram. They know no one else is going to teach them. To make these trends feel real, let's consider the story of someone like Maya. Maya is 24 years old. She works as a graphic designer for a marketing agency in a mid-sized city. She has a bachelor's degree. She has about $35,000 in student loan debt. Her salary is $52,000 a year. But after taxes, her take-home pay is closer to $3,200 a month. Her rent for a one-bedroom apartment is $1,500. Her student loan payment is $400 a month. That means that $1,900, or nearly 60% of her take-home pay, is gone before she even buys groceries. Maya's budget is incredibly tight. After paying for utilities, her car payment, insurance and gas, she has very little left for food, personal care and any kind of social life. Now let's look at Liam. Liam is 22 and decided not to go to a 4-year university. He saw his older siblings struggle with student debt and wanted a different path. He completed a 2-year program to become an electrician. He is now an apprentice, earning a good hourly wage and learning a valuable trade. He has no student debt. He lives at home with his parents to save money. His goal is to save enough for a down payment on a small condo within the next 3 years. So, what can be done to improve the financial prospects for Gen Z? The problems are complex, and the solutions must be multifaceted. First, we need to address the root causes of these struggles. This means tackling the high cost of education, increasing public funding for universities to lower tuition costs, expanding loan forgiveness programs, creating more options for interest-free student loans. Making education more affordable would be one of the most significant steps toward giving young people a better financial start in life. Second, we need policies that support higher wages and more secure work. Raising the federal minimum wage to a living wage would be a crucial step. This would lift the incomes of millions of young workers, strengthen protections for gig economy workers, ensure gig workers have access to basic benefits and a fair wage. Companies should be encouraged to invest in their employees through better pay, benefits, and training programs. A stronger social safety net would also relieve financial pressure on young families. Affordable healthcare, childcare. Third, we must prioritize building more affordable housing. Commitment from local, state, and federal governments. Finally, we need to continue to empower Gen Z with financial education. By combining systemic policy changes with individual empowerment, we can create a more equitable economic environment. We can help ensure that Gen Z and the generations that follow have a genuine opportunity to build a secure and prosperous financial future.